A motivator is someone who fuels an athlete's performance, persistence, perseverance, determination, and drive. He or she creates the environment and provides the opportunity to express their motivation, support, and encouragement to the player. Enhancing the performance therefore creates better results for the athlete as they are willing to work through their pain barriers. However, if an athlete is not motivated at all, this could lead to potential failure. An individual team such as swimming will be easier to motivate compared to a team such as rugby. This is because in a team sport there is more players to motivate and capture their focus, so if one player is not as motivated as the rest, this can let the team down and cause the group dynamics to change. The dynamics will change in the way that one person might not put in as much effort and cause distractions in the group, which will then lead to others not wanting to participate in the activity. Once all the team, or at least a quarter, are distracted, it is harder to get them back and motivated and get them back on track. Whereas with an individual sport, it is just a one-to-one motivation, so the player can be easily picked up and driven again as there are no distractions. Coaches may use certain rewards to keep players motivated, such as chocolate for younger children or lollipops. Being a coach, but also a friend, can be seen as a positive and also a negative thing. Friends are supportive, caring, can be approachable and fun. Participants might have potential problems in their sport, and so they may feel as though they can go to their coach because he or she is approachable, so they can speak to them if they have an issue. However, participants might also take it less seriously, therefore making it harder for the coach to set the authority. In a team, such as rugby, it could be seen as biased if one player is seen as being the favourite over another player, and this could change the group dynamics. But in individual sports, it is easier to have a more comical training session as it is one-to-one. And there isn't anyone else to comment on the behaviour. Also, an individual sport such as tennis is a lot more contact while demonstrating certain skills. For example, when showing the player how to serve, it may require a touch of the hand or touches on the lower back to action the swing. Depending on the player, this can be seen as inappropriate, and some people prefer not to have any physical contact with their coach, even if it is professional, as sometimes being a friend can also be seen as inappropriate. This means there are certain lines between the responsibility, and coaches cannot be more than friends of their players. It's clear that the individual sports are going to be friendlier than team sports such as football because there is a bigger group of people. It could be seen as biased if a coach doesn't drop someone from the team because they are friends with the participant, which would cause argument within the group, which would again change the group dynamics.
Manager. A coach can be a manager. This is the person who oversees the teams or individuals. They are the main person to organise training facilities, matches and other matters and events. They can also dish out jobs to other people. An advantage of the coach being the manager is that they know more about the team and individuals, so decisions are made based on personal and factual knowledge and what's best for the team/individuals. Decisions are also made quicker and more directly, and less mistakes can be made. However, the coach might have a biased mindset and their decisions may not be the correct one or seen as the correct one. One person making a decision may be blinkered, therefore do not take into consideration other situations and variables. Coach has a lot to deal with, therefore they might not be self-organised and disciplined, therefore mistakes could be made. Also, if manager and coach made the incorrect decision and this has a huge effect on results in our team or the individual, they might lose their job. A sporting example, manager or coach would be Pep Guardiola, who manages both Man City football players, therefore organising fixtures as well as ensuring the players are up to their elite performance levels. It's hard to manage a team rather than an individual. A manager for a team such as rugby has to be organised because they have to manage, compared to managing a tennis player. It's because they have to look after 15 plus players. These all have different needs and abilities instead of just the one person who has the same needs and abilities as they always do. Also, if they're female, managers have to find suitable opponents for them to set up events and matches compared to sport tennis, which is more popular by girls, and even more opportunities if there are boys. Therefore, there are a lot more opportunities, and even more opportunities if there are boys, and even more opportunities if there are boys. The manager has to take into consideration the gender and age of the participants in both team and individual sports in order to match their skill levels and correctly put them into the right ability skilled competitions. Also, if there is a team and the manager and coach has a limited amount of players they're allowed to take, he will have to make the decision of who's chosen in the squad. This can cause lack of motivation by other players who have not been chosen because the coach, who's also the manager, is having to make all these decisions. Age is dependent on the manager as well. For example, if managing a grassroots level team, there is less to be managing, or it's not taken as seriously as if it was an elite elite athlete team being managed because of the standard of the not only the skills competition needed to be entered in, as well as level of professionalism needed to be taken in place with different levels of performance. There are different leadership styles for more elite athletes and team elite athletes. The autocratic one would be used when the manager and coach what they say goes, compared to the grassroots level team, which would both take the autocratic approach for health and safety reasons, but also the laissez-faire approach and be more laid back in their approach to the younger generation.
A coach has many roles. However, I'm going to be talking about how a coach can be a role model. A role model is a person looked up to by others and an example to be imitated. If a coach is a role model, then they will find it hard to have a constant positive effect on their players. This because when a coach is a role model, some of their bad habits are more likely to be imitated by the player that is looking up to them. Being a role model to a team or someone in that team can be positive or negative. This is because the coach's bad habits, whether they are small or big, can be hidden, whereas when coaching an individual, the bad habits will be clearer and more likely to be imitated. However, being a role model when a coach, means that they are able to answer any questions that their players may have, or are able to guide them. Being a role model can also increase the coach's stress levels because they could feel more pressured to be good at their job because they are looked up to. However, this can have a reverse effect because the coach may take pride in the situation and find that they are more confident.